Hello, everyone. I'm Krasi Attasio, and I'm honored to have Joe Greenland again on my channel. You know Joe. We had several interviews with him, all of them very, very interesting for the people, Joe. And now I invited you to ask you about this very interesting subject about letting go or solving difficult situation, making or and accepting changes in our lives. How to, if we feel that we are in the middle of nowhere, we lost hope or we feel down. You spoke about amazing remedies. How you actually, you personally, you taught me very practical, spiritual, divine things, all in this all in similar subject, you know, the spirituality, how to move on, how to change your life for good, how to communicate with the spirit world around you. So we will talk about similar things as usual, you know, from your spiritual perspective, because you're medicine man, you're shaman. So please, Joe, tell us today about this. When we feel down, especially now we're in around eclipses, and these eclipses are very significant and not very easy, and so many people are experiencing them in not easy way. So tell us how to, like, give us remedies, and yes, and how to move on when we feel that we are stuck.
Well, this is where, going to the Sundance for me every year is whatever I finished up that year, I'm seeking something new. So I'm always inside myself asking to start something new, beginning, somehow trying to understand, finding whatever is there that needs to let go and giving permission. We say we want to let go of things. We say we're ready to move on. We say all these things, and then we'll create a story in our minds. Why this or why that?
So let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you because people don't know. You mentioned the Sundance. Say please 2 words about the Sundance and tell us what kind of permission, whom you give the permission, because I know this from you because I had private session with you of clearing, and it gave amazing results. So I recommend this to everyone to contact you. This changed my life. You taught me how to communicate with my spirit guides, my guardian angel, and this is really what I'm also teaching people who contact me. And so whom you are asking the permission from? What is the Sundance? Just give a bit of story, and then we continue with the remedies that you wanted to share with us.
Okay, first of all, we always ask the creator of all things. To me, I say great mystery because there's something way beyond me that I understand that creates all sorts of stuff and has this love and this compassion to help it evolve and grow. And to me, that is the biggest source. It's an energy that sustains all planets, stars, galaxies, whatever, beyond what we can see and understand from this planet or the humanness. And then I always, because when we're born, we have different guides, different teachers, and spirits around us. And a lot of them are really waiting to hear from us because we're not taught to communicate with nature or with our guides or with spirit or even with Earth Mother. People think it's silly to talk to the earth or to plants and different kinds of things. And so it's learning to redo all of that again. In the Sundance, it's a very, very ancient ceremony. A lot of people, you can YouTube, there's a clip on Sitting Bull and what he did in the Sundance and why he chose to do it. And it's an ancient ceremony. And so there's one Sundance where you pierce, where you actually put wooden pegs in your skin and you tie strings. It goes to the tree and you dance and you pray for 4 days. And it's basically something you're believing in, and you're giving up food, water, and things in your sacrifice. It's something you're like letting go of and trusting the universe, and you're praying for everybody. You're good things for the planet, for the animals, trees, whatever it is you believe inside you that needs the Creator's blessing you. You're asking goodness to go into the people's lives. So they dance for 4 days. And it's really lots of prayers. It takes you deep. There's a sweat lodge in the morning. There's a sweat lodge at night that the dancers go into. And it's a purifying. But in the same thing, while they're in the sweat lodge, the dancers will breathe in or try to bring in, because the moisture in the sweat lodge helps you hydrate a bit your body. So going in the sweat lodge really helps. Everybody has their own experience. It's any ceremony, anything that you participate in, everybody has a different experience. So when the dance is over and the guys that are tied to the tree after 4 days, they run backwards and break the skin to release themselves. And then they give everything they have done for the year to the Creator. After that, you start a new beginning, because it's another cycle that you're going to do. And you're going to be doing lots of sweats. You're going to be doing fasting. You're going to be doing a lot of prayers, and it takes you inside and it challenges you to grow, because there's different fears and different things. Every year is a new transition, and life is that way. It's people that get too stuck when they feel safe. They just, this is where I want to be, but they want so much more, but they don't know how to step out of that conditioning, or that, oh, well, I have everything now, but I'm not happy. If you're not happy, then there's something more out there. And like I say, talking to your guides, talking to the spirits. If you're drawn to trees and you feel really good with trees, sit with a tree. The trees have lots of things. They're living beings. They hear, they can help, they can ground you into the earth. And lots of people like that, but you don't see people doing it anymore. So finding inside yourself, what do you trust? What you are okay with letting go of. There's lots and lots of things on the planet, and for me, I don't want to get pulled in too many directions all the time. So I always ask the Creator to bring to me what is really important, so I don't spend long periods of time studying and doing things that just use up my energy. And I always try to ask them to bring me people, good people, and for me to be in the right place to be helping people, or to channel the right things that will assist the person to feeling safe, because we have to feel safe every time we are going to explore something new. If you're a Christian and you're going into Buddhism, you need to find the right people that are going to be compassionate towards you and gradually help you understand the concept of Buddhism. Because in Christianity, there's one hell, and there's so many things that go with the Christianity. And when you go into Buddhism, they have 10,000 hells. They have many gods, they have many different kinds of deities and different things. So if you're transitioning from this one to this one, a lot of people will find Buddhism very scary, because in their meditation, there's one meditation where in your meditation, you see yourself dissolve to nothing. You watch yourself literally fall apart until there's nothing left of you. Because some people can't comprehend that. It scares them. So you need to attract people who will walk you through, and they will help you look at your fears, because life is about looking at fears. When we're children, we sometimes get scared. We know things make us afraid, but somewhere inside we still want to grow and move forward. So we figure out how to move past those fears. We figure out how to ask questions or learn how to do things, so we don't carry fears that stop us in life. And like I say, at a certain point, people get comfortable in their minds. They believe they have everything, but they're not happy. And if you're not happy, then you need to find what it is that's going to bring in that newness. It's like with you, through astrology, you can see certain things. Finding healers, finding osteopath, finding different kinds of knowledge. Where's my big blue
Joe, you taught me something that I that worked on. It was like the most important thing that I remembered after our conversation, and it was to to really communicate with your guardian angel. And this is what, because you're telling to communicate with the creator, of course, to communicate with the guides, which are, you mentioned there are many and they change over time, right? Depending on your personal level of knowledge and awakening and so on. But what I found amazing and helped me, I can't tell you, it's like changed my life. My knowledge that I may and I can and I'm allowed to communicate with my guardian angel, even though I don't see him or her. Tell us about this, because this is something that needs attention. It's really, really, I'm repeating, it's amazing. And the results, first I will say to everyone how this worked on me. I had very bad sleep for thousands of years, since I remember myself. And since I'm asking my guardian angel to help me, I received instant help. And tell us, Joe, how exactly is this working? Because and how far we can, because we come with certain contracts, right? We make contracts and we come and we're supposed to follow what is written in our contracts. Tell us about this, especially with the communication with guardian angel, guides, of course, the Lord of the universe and so on.
Yeah, we all have different specific spirit guides after having many, many lifetimes, and they are all relevant. Biggest thing is a lot of people, we explore all cultures, we explore all different concepts of what is the connection to the creator or the life force that sustains or creates everything. And we all have different ones. They all wait there, and they don't try to push their way in. They don't try to force us to do anything to change. When that starts waking up inside us, we start going, wow, all of a sudden I realize there's something different and there's something bigger beyond what my brain was looking at. And you start wondering, well, what is making something bigger and more come in? So you start going, well, maybe praying, or maybe going to a native ceremony, or exploring some sort of scientific stuff. Like a lot of people are getting into quantum physics because more and more and more science is proving everything spiritual. It's proving the soul energy as it leaves the body. They're right now trying to prove the different dimensions. Like people say there's many different dimensions in reality, and they're starting to try to open up and make that real through science for people to go, wow, this is a truth, that there are other dimensions and different things. So even with spirits, there's you go higher and higher and higher. And when you're in that stage of evolving, there's something inside you that woke up. It knows there's something new that needs to step forward. So for me, when that comes in, it's right away in my mind. I'm like, okay, and what path do I have to walk? Where do I have to go? Or what new has to come in? So I always welcome the new, and I give permission for the change. Because if you're given permission for change, then the spirits that have been waiting there to assist you, they already have the answers. They already know what this new journey is. And I always say they're not there to fool you. They're there to help you grow. So they have all these answers. And if you're really seeking and understanding that, they will show you so many things. And I always tell people, if you have the ability to have deja vu, it's glimpses of the future, and you do that in your dream time.
Tell them who grandmothers and grandfathers is.
Yeah. So the deja vu is really important. Everybody has it, even children, as we're aware of these things. And with that, you sometimes ask the spirit if it's okay to see or know things in your future, because that's a blessing from the creator. That's something that's given to you, and you realize there's an energy, there's something in it, very exciting. So the remote viewers are able to see things in the future that they're meant to see and know. So the spirits have this way of showing you things, and when you start trusting and learning that, you start inviting them in. In the native spirits, when we light the smudge bowl with the sage and that, first thing we give to the creator of all things, because the smoke disappears. You don't know where it goes. So we just do the offering there. And then because we live on the Earth Mother, we always send smoke to her, down into the earth, to the Earth Mother, because she supports and sustains everything. I mean, we wouldn't have bodies and we wouldn't be living here. There's plant life, and we always say the Earth Mother's children. So for me, when I pray, I say the standing people, which is the trees. I say the rock people, which is at one time the planet was a rock before it terraformed. And then I say water people because there's all kinds of life forms in the water. So they're a form of life. And so I talk to all these things. I say four legs, which is the deer and the cows and others. I say the two leg because there are birds and other things that walk on two legs beside humans. And then I say the winged ones, the ones that fly in the air, because there's all kinds. There's little mosquitoes. There's all kinds. So Earth Mother's children are all these things, even the plant life, the vegetables, and that. So in our prayers, we recognize all of that. And then always send smoke first thing to the east in the morning where the sun comes up, because that's where it lights up the day. That's where all this energy comes in to work with us. So I don't know today if there's a spirit from the east that's going to come in, but I recognize that and I send smoke and I welcome, because that spirit might be there for the whole day with me and may have an answer to what my day is going to be about. So I send that out in the east as far as it's meant to go out in the east and bring something. And the elders always say there's lots of planets, worlds, and galaxies when you face east, because it goes way out beyond what our mind and our eyes can see when we look into the skies. And they say there's spirit, evolved beings that are way in those directions. We may have been on those planets or places. They will come and assist us. Then always in the south, same thing. We give the smoke to the south. And it is in the summer when it's really hot and everything is growing. So east is like being a baby up to a teenager. The south is like being from teenager to adult. So that is the growth. That's the everything growing on the planet. That's the nourishment. That's the life force coming back to support everything. So we send smoke there and we thank the spirits that will come and work with us. Then we do the same thing to the west, because going to the west is the evening. It's when the sun starts going down. It's the fall when you harvest. It's abundance. It's something that's going to sustain people's lives throughout the winter, because they will have all kinds of things that they will put away to help themselves. So in the west, we send the smoke and we invite in whatever is there to work with us. In the north is the winter. So in the winter in the north, we say the planet sleeps because it's blanketed in the north with all the snow, and the Earth Mother goes to sleep for a while because she wants to build up energy to regenerate, to rebirth, to bring life back in, to sustain everything, to do the cycle all over again. But we say in the north is the ancient spirits. So when we send the smoke to the north, we ask the ancient ones to come in, to be with us, to help us to see and understand how we bring all these things together. After that, the whole thing is clearing your energy, opening up, inviting that, trusting that these spirits are there. And we say grandmothers and grandfathers in the native culture. We don't say Michael or Archangel this or that. All we know is they're very ancient, they're very loving, and they're most beautiful beings, and their intention is to try to help you to get through your lessons. Even sometimes you're a little bit scared, they will support you. They will keep moving you forwards till you get to that point. And their whole idea is to bring that happiness, the joy, the learning, and everything in growth. And so we always invite them in. And then around us, like I say, we got, some people say, is a seventh power, which are the angels that work with us day and night in our life, always around us. So we always talk to them too, because they're always around us from morning to night, right from the time we're born till we leave the planet. And so with all of these spirits and all this acknowledgement, we allow these things to come and go, and we're always seeking new beginnings. We're always seeking finishing up an old, finishing up something from a childhood that may have carried, something, whatever it is, other lifetimes. Sometimes we wake up, come into this world with paranoia of being on water, because in other lifetimes we may have drowned, and that drowning has happened other lifetimes. So this time, every time we go near water, we're afraid that's going to happen. So we need somewhere to free that up so we don't carry that anymore. So calling all these spirits, even the rock spirits or rocks, whenever I hold a crystal, I ask that crystal, do you give me permission to connect with you? Because it has an energy inside the crystal that is, if you look at this planet, is 4 billion years or more older. So crystal has an ancient knowledge of the planet and of all kinds of things. So I ask it permission to connect with it. And if it's going to help me, then it will connect in that way, and it'll support and work with me. And sometimes you will see things. Some people, they pick up, it's like psychometry, you get glimpses of things. Some people are really connected to trees. Some people are connected to water. Knowing these different kinds of things really, really help you. I like going to little streams and rivers, and in a native way, we always take tobacco in our hands, and we always offer it to Creator, everything that I said. And then I hold that tobacco and I say my prayer, and I let the tobacco go into the water. So it goes back into nature, it disappears and goes somewhere. And I trust the universe. Here's my prayers and everything I have done. And in some point in time, it will assist me in what I'm asking help for. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Joe, how about also connecting with the planetary spirits, because, and also the spirits that rule the stars, because according to the ancient mythology, and maybe also in reality, the planets also have rulers, very high hierarchy spirits. How about connecting with them?
Yeah, a lot of people, they understand Ceres, Pleiades. There's many other planets in our solar system here that we've forgotten. They're in the ancient times, they knew these places, they knew these things. And we're trying to rediscover them and understand how to bring them into our lives. So they're really important. Like, I found out more and more and more over the years when I was looking at astrology, how Saturn or Mercury influences my life, and trying to understand that connection and how to work with that energy. Because Saturn is a teacher, and depending on where it's in your astrology, it's going to teach you something, and it's over a period of time. And like, it took me a long time to understand that Pluto also has something to do. And learning and studying these and trying to see where that interaction, the energies, because they say when you're born, wherever the stars are, especially in astrology, everything's imprinted on you for your life. Because however those planets are going to move and whatever they're going to do, you have implanted all that energy. So you vibrate, and like, you use the birth chart, so that imprint is there. It's got its own language. Then you use the today chart, and then you use it to sort of give a little whatever that goes on today. So it's very important to recognize these, especially the sun and the moon, because they are there and they're very influential, but we have these blinders. It's like, if we
Yes.
recognize and see these things, then we may have to fear them. And it's not about fear, and it's not about creating stories. The more you can understand something and be in harmony with it, the more it will find ways to assist that growth and movement. And everything in life, it's like all the lifetimes up to now is evolution. And we need to keep evolving. And sometimes those fears of moving and doing things bring too much fear. And when you're looking at the unknown, is a lot of people just decide, no, I'm just going to stay this way. And it's like, if you just could see your future, even a year from now, if you just step through the sphere and the amazing things that will go on, then that's blessing yourself. Because I always say you have to bless yourself. You got to trust in these things, and the unknown is one of the most scariest ones.
Yes. How, when we connect with the spirits, exactly as help, remedy, whatever we like to call it, can we expect immediate help, and or we can ask for signs, right? That, like asking, did you can you prove that you heard me, that you accept my like my requests, or do we immediately receive results? Like maybe if we are careful, attentive to, and manage to distinguish the signs, we will see that we receive immediately responses or signs or results, whatever you call it.
Yes, when you really do pay attention, when you really open up your mind and start, like you said, watching, like how you go out in the night and your birth or whatever, you look up the stars, and all these little things give you hints to what your year or your life will be like. And people will pray things and they don't really think about what they're praying a lot of times. An old medicine man said, think on what you're going to pray, even if it's going to take you 4 or 5 days. He says, write it down and look at all the words. Is it really what you want to say? Is this really what you're asking from the universe? Because the universe is going to give you what you want. And you have to be really, really specific sometimes in what you're asking. And sometimes you get it in different ways, but it's not the way you ask. And so these things, they come through. The universe can respond really, really quick. And then there's other times things are gradual over time things. So everything comes through in its own way. It's really trusting. And the more knowledge you seem to get, the easier things seem to happen. And having that spiritual family, having that spiritual connection, just that energy between people opens up more things to come in, because there's a safety. There's something there that really allows people to understand that these good things are coming, and there's other people that believe the same thing. I wanted to show you a book that I just ended up buying.
Show us. Tapestry of the Gods. Okay, Michael Robbins. All right. Tell us about this book.
And
Tapestry of the Gods. Michael Robbins. All right. What
so
about
this
this book?
book is about, it has energy, and everybody has chakras. So there's the 7 different rainbow colors. So this talks about people's energies in the different rainbow colors. Some people are in the red down here, but then they have a little bit of maybe the orange here and a little bit of the blue up here, and how these 3 things interrelate and the psychology of how this energy works. If they're really in the red energy, which is the base energy, is they're really learning a lot of things. And these kinds of people can get angry really fast, because it's the base chakra, it's down here, it's learning, it's trying to grow. So if you're way up here in a blue or purple or one of the higher energies, and you sit with a red person and their energy is down here, they're going to get really angry at you. They're not going to understand what you're saying. So this helps you understand psychologically sometimes why people are the way they are. And it helps you to look at a lot of things and even understand yourself, which energies you're in and why you do things the way you do, or why you attract different kinds of people.
All right.
So it's a very good book. This is channel. There's 2 of them. There's I think it's about 1,100 pages, somewhere around that. And I've known about this book for a long time, and I just came across it, and we just picked it up not long ago because it was in a used bookstore and the price was right. And I'm like, hey, this is there. I was asking for some new information, and I finally got this book. So I'm going to read the both of them. I feel it's very beneficial. And I feel anybody reading this will get really lots of understandings. I think somewhere in this, he even talks a little bit about astrology and how astrology affects and works with the energies and the life force that we carry, because we all carry different rainbow colors. We all carry different energies. Like I used to go to see this one guy when I lived in Edmonton. There was a purple auric field. I was like, I was born that way. And he said, no, 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 no. Where did you get the purple auric field? And I'm like, I was born that way. I mean, I just got this energy. I
Joe,
don't
there
see
was
it, but other
interruption.
people.
There was interruption. There was interruption. Repeat the last sentence. So you told him that you're born that way, that you can see auras, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
he had the ability to see people's energy, and he was wondering why mine was purple. And I said I was born that way. I'm native, and this is the way I am. Somehow I stole this auric field energy. Because even when you look in the if you go in churches and you look at the old stained glass windows, or you look at pictures of these old icons of Jesus or saints or spirits, you see all these colored energy radiating off them. And these pictures and these things were showing a long time ago. These people saw and knew these different energy fields, the halo around your head. Everybody has a different kind of energy halo, and some people are really big, some people are small. Everybody has different kinds of energy they generate out, and most of
You said the connection was lost for a second, Joe. You said everyone has this halo, this energy field around. Yes, I'm repeating because the connection was lost. Yeah.
and that's why I like in this book it says the tapestry of the gods, because our energy fields are like a tapestry, and we all have these different kinds of energy, and there are people who can see your aura. And we know this one little girl, we were walking with her one day, and I became aware she could see people's auras. So as we were walking along going to the park and things, she started telling us by looking at people, even at a distance, if they were happy, if they were sad, and different kinds of things. And she was very accurate in what she was seeing and saying. And then Cindy decided to show her a picture of Doreen Virtue, and she looked at the picture and she told Cindy what
She believes in Jesus
she believes in Jesus,
and she's made mistakes.
and she's made mistakes. So just in the picture, she could see all this in the auric energy. And she had no clue who Doreen Virtue was. She's just this young little girl, and she just has this awareness. And there are a lot of people out there that are this way, and they don't understand other people are not. So really, really big blessing, like for yourself, and that is to be okay to see people's auric energies, because they can't lie. Everything is in the energy fields, and there's things in there when you see it, tells you really lots about the person.
But you're
It's like
clearing
a
also.
library.
You're clearing. How your clearing is working on this field of energy? What is exactly the work of the clearing that you're doing for people?
That is when I'm doing the clearing, that is when I ask you to give permission to your oversoul to let me know how I need to help you. So even though you're there on the other side and I start spinning my eagle feathers, I'm asking where in your energy fields there's an old energy that doesn't need to be there. So like you right now, as I'm spinning the feathers, an old energy here. So I'm just gonna look at it a little bit. And when it's ready to go, I just take the feather and flick, and your spirit guides and that will lift it away and release it, because it doesn't belong there anymore. So when that happens, I ask the universe to put a very loving energy there that's going to heal and release that old energy. You don't need to carry it. Now you got more good energy to open up, create, manifest even more things. And that is part of the past life stuff too. There's really lots of different energies sitting in all the energy fields. It's like a TV with thousands and thousands of channels. Every time you hit a different number, a different screen comes up. Our auric fields are like that. They expand out and they close down And a healer will be able, through guidance, to go in and see and release some of these things. With you, with astrology and that, you can see things in other lifetimes when the person understands that. If you hold the energy with them and believe that's going to shift and change, their guides on that will come in and take it out. So it doesn't, and then you get more bigger energy. The energy keeps expanding. And one of the things, if you're going to be in the future, and it's called the fifth dimension, if we're in the third dimension and we're working with third dimension angels, then you need to call in whatever is in the future that you're going to work with, these fifth dimension guardians or spirits that are going to help you to understand how to manifest and work with that energy, because they have that knowledge. And some of these angels and spirits and guides that have been with us, they want to go back into the universe and evolve too. It's not just us human beings, but it's there. So I always give my guides and spirits and that permission to move so new things can come in, so I can match that energy as we move into the future.
Joe, fifth dimension, 5G, 3G, 4G, I am sure this has somehow, this is linked in a way to us, to suppressing the humanity to grow into the next dimension, right? So how to overcome, just I don't, this just, maybe it makes not much sense, but this made cross my mind now when you mentioned fifth dimension, third dimension, how to overcome the energies. I know in our first interview, I already asked you about this, I know, but now we have a different focus, and our focus is more on remedies. That is why I'm asking you, since we are in the third dimension, our guides, our angels are from the third dimension as well. But the 5G is most probably, and the 4G are supposed to suppress us, not to be able to grow into the next 4 and 5, fifth dimension. What will be the solution? How to overcome this in order to be able to grow and expand into the next dimension? Having into consideration that there are so many technological means to suppress us. Yes, Joe?
Me, a lot of the things I do is I try to ask to see what the future is. Natives, a lot of ceremonies we do, we try to ask that we have some kind of vision, something that when we get to a point, we will know and something will happen, and we know and we see this. And natives do these ceremonies. There's lots of other cultures that do this too. And it's like when you look at Galileo way back in the 1600s, the telescope he had when he was looking out in the universe to see things. And he wasn't really sure, but he was recording it, and he was saying what he was about the universe and the stars and all these other things. And then you go from there and you go to today to the Hubble telescope in the sky, and how it's seeing way out, improving all these things that some people said 500-600 years ago. They were saying all this stuff, but the scientists weren't really sure of it. But now it's all getting proven. It's like the same thing in the 3D. We have to be able to look through something and say, okay, Galileo is right, but now we're going to look through Hubble and we're going to prove all of this. So if your focus is in that direction, you're going to receive the answers. You're going to understand how to move. You're going to understand when people come to you. You're going to have the knowledge. Like I think I brought up Dolores Cannon's 3 books, the Nostradamus ones. There's really lots of stuff in it. And some people, if they read it, they're only going to look at the fear. But there's real lots of answers to all of this in those books. She, through past life regression, help people to realize that there are all these things there supporting us, and when we understand, we will use them in that time. But we will go through the transition. All the visions, all the stuff, even the Mayans, when they looked into the future, they looked up to a certain point, but they couldn't see beyond. The Chinese and others did the same thing. There was a point that for 3,000 years looked into the future, and all they know is there's this big change. and they saw the children. They call the children crystal ones, golden ones. They named them all kinds because they all got this different kinds of energy. And how we're all going to come together at a certain point and become a universal family.
So how do you get over the fear of 5G?
I don't focus on 5G. I don't focus on technology because the most technology focus on the thing is the planet. She knows what the future is. She knows when she shifts and changes what's going to regrow, recreate. And she has everything. The universe has given her all the knowledge on what needs to get done, and she's ready to rebirth again. Every 160,000 years, she changes. Sometimes she will spin one way, and then another time she will spin the other way. It's like when the baby's inside the mom, the baby moves around. Every so often it shifts because it needs to grow and expand, and it'll turn one way or turn the other way. And these things go on until everything is where it needs to be. And the Earth Mother spins and spins and spins. At a certain point, she needs to readjust. So she does these things, and that changes everything. And that's part of the evolution of this planet. So when people connect into her, she starts trying to share and give answers and help us to understand how to move into these things. Like I say, there's many books out there with answers, and those three with Dolores Cannon, Past Life Regression, Nostradamus ones, I think are very good books. If a person reads them and don't look for the fear, but look for all the answers, reading even Anastasia books. Anastasia has lots of different. We totally disconnected for a minute.
But now we are again connected. Yes,
Yeah.
you spoke about the Anastasia.
So the thing is, yes.
Yeah, we are recording.
Anastasia books has different things.
Yes.
Yeah, with Anastasia, she has things. She says things in there, and she says it in a way, but it's answers to people. Once you start realizing and looking for all the answers, you can find them in many different books, and they're written by different people who are not connected. So it's starting to prove their answers are all in these different places. It's just paying attention and putting the puzzle together and going, wow, okay, this is an answer.
Yes, yes.
And the thing is whatever you focus on, you manifest and create. So if you're part of the future and you're meant to be doing all these things, if you're focusing on it, you're going to attract and pull that to you until you manifest it. So putting our mind in that way of generating and creating that, we expand and we help other people to do the same thing too.
Yes, yes, makes sense. And the Earth Mother knows exactly what to do, and these are minor obstacles in compared to what she can do actually. So it makes no sense to concentrate on this and have fears. Yeah, I understand your point, and I like it. It makes
yes, and
sense to me.
When you're really distracted like that, you're generating so much different fears and confusions and stories that you're not able just to plug in and just walk your path and feel at peace. That everything is there to support and sustain you. Everything is already prepared for evolution. If you look at the Arctic, the polar bears have already started crossbreeding over 60 years ago with the black bears and the brown bears and the grizzly bears. So they're seeing all these new bears, and they call them now Pisleys and Growlers, and they're giving them new names because they look different. They're seeing crows flying around with white patches and different things. And you're starting to see all these different things, and they're genetically changing because they all want to put their genes into the future and evolve also. So everything is already, the plants, the animals, and everything already focused on the future of that transformation of becoming whatever the newness in the future is going to be.
After all, the creator allowed this, right? If the creator allowed this, it makes sense then. But why the balance is missing, Joe, between evil and good? Why the balance is not isn't there supposed to be balance between good and bad? Why the bad is more in our age? I know we're ruled by Aries, we live in the mini era of Mars, but this still doesn't give me the answer why the evil is more than the good. Right? When we see what is...
Those kinds of things, everybody inside is choosing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the universe allows us to choose. The universe doesn't force us. Everybody just wants to be in the light. And the universe is, everybody's in a different school and a different thing. And everybody chooses inside themselves where they want to be. And we can't force anybody. It's something when we were created in the beginning by the Creator, we had a journey and a path, and we're all following that. We're all helping one another to grow, but all at different stages. And if you focus too much in one direction, you can't see all the beauty of everything else around. And it makes it heavy and negative, and then the mind just wants to create stories, and you're getting pulled around again. It's like looking at your children. Each one of your children will choose a journey. When they were born, you thought, well, maybe they'll be really this, or maybe they'll really be that. But at one day, they're going to be choosing in their life, and they're going to become that, and you're going to go, wow. And you're going to look at all of them, they're different. And it's going to be their choices that creates their path and their differentness and their happiness and their sadness. And it's like helping them to understand, to look inside, to make these choices, to become the biggest, best person they're meant to be.
Yes, yes. So, Joe, let's go back to the clearing, which is clearing the auras, which is helping us let go. I know that on the channel Heal and Learn, you're making when Zorina, because she's also a friend, and also I often interview her on my channel. She mentioned that you are making online clearings. Tell us more about these clearings and when people can find you. I will put link, of course, under this video, but the clearings that you make are for the channel Heal and Learn of Zori, right? And when is this happening, and how are you doing it there, just for the people who attend? Oh.
I'm going to let Cindy talk here for a minute. I need to go to the washroom so she can tell you about this.
Yes, Cindy, say about these clearings, because I had clearing with Joe. Hi, Cindy. I had clearing with Joe, and the results are amazing. And I spoke with Zori, and she mentioned that Joe is doing clearing, and I found out just today.
Yeah.
that Joe is making. Yes.
On Wednesdays, we are doing a group meditation, and it's more than just meditation. So this is a group gathering online, and Joe will call in the spirits for everybody that is attending, that they feel the energy as well. And I lead them through a visualization of just how to connect with Creator, Earth Mother, themselves, and how to ask. And it's just like now being an energy. And that's what we do where we live, but online it's a little bit different, and people can ask questions, preferably one question per person that they feel like it's important, and just see what spirit might bring through. For Joe will share. So that's a group gathering that we're doing with Heal and Learn on Wednesdays.
Yes, okay. I'll put link to the website of Zori and to the group. I think she mentioned on Facebook that there is information. Thank you. Thank you very much. Say big thank you also to Joe. This was very useful, because the main thing is to reconnect with nature, to connect to our spirit guides, the Creator, the Earth Mother. And so thank you very much, Cindy. Thank you, Joe, and hope to talk again with you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Very bad. I know the connection was delayed. I know.